In the following installment of Getting Savvy with SAP EWM, we are going to learn about evening systematic operations utilizing EWM. When a team completes their deliveries for the day, they must call in for release before they can arrive at the depot. When a team calls in, we need to run a problem delivery report to review their TDM codes. Once we're logged into EWM, we can run the problem delivery report by double-clicking on the transaction. Once the transaction loads, we need to enter in the truck or route ID, followed by the date. When we have all this information filled in, we can click Execute. Once the report runs, we need to review the TDM codes for the day. Each stop should have a code. If there are any stops with a GOB code or a ZZZ code, the drive team must call customer care to get the code resolved. If a code was missed, but the stop was okayed, the team can call into the Auto OK hotline. Once all TDM codes have been confirmed, a truck audit must be completed in SharePoint. Once the truck audit is in SharePoint and the team is on their way back to the depot, we can begin printing the return labels for any pieces that are coming back. To print return labels, we need to be logged into EWM, and then we're going to use a transaction called Return to DC. Once we're in the transaction, we're going to pick a variant, which is the button in the upper left-hand corner next to Execute. In order to access the variant menu, we need to remove our username and then click Execute. Once we're in the variant menu, you will see that the variants represent different route IDs. We would select the variant that best matches the route ID we need to print labels for. After highlighting the variant we need, we want to click the check mark. Now we need to tell EWM if we're printing labels for merchandise that was refused today, or scheduled returning merchandise, or both. Lastly, at the bottom of the screen, we need to select the function Print Labels. Now we're ready to execute in the upper left-hand corner. Once the report loads, we want to select all to highlight all the items that need labels printed, then click Print Labels. When the drive team unloads the returning pieces, we need to confirm that the pieces match the label sticker that we are placing on them. Any discrepancies need to be called into RCG. Once all the return pieces are labeled, we can then scan them to the returns trailer with the RF gun. Once we're logged into the gun, we want to select 3 for returns, and then 2 for return to DC. Then we can scan the item's return label barcode, and then the trailer's barcode. Once the piece has been scanned, it can be loaded. Once all returns have been loaded, we need to print a trailer manifest to go with the return pieces back to the distribution center. To print a trailer manifest, we need to use the transaction called Manifest Report. After we click on the transaction to enter the report, we can then select Trailer Manifest. Next, we need to enter the trailer number, and then we can click Execute in the upper left-hand corner. A print preview of our manifest will load, and then we just need to click Print and select our printer. Once we print the manifest, we need to place it in the trailer with the return pieces heading back to the distribution center. We can also utilize Manifest Report to print loading manifests and delivery manifests. To do so, after logging into EWM, we would select the transaction called Manifest Report by double-clicking on it. Once we're in the report transaction, we see we have the options to pick a loading manifest, a delivery manifest. Then we need to input the delivery date that we are running the report for. The bold date in the calendar represents the present date. Then we need to fill in the truck numbers or the route IDs that we need to print. In this menu, we can look at a single truck or a range of trucks by putting the first route ID in the first box and then the last route ID in the second box in sequence. Once all the details are filled in, we need to click Execute at the bottom left-hand corner. It looks like a clock with a green check mark. Once we click Execute, the screen will reload in a print preview version of our loading manifest. All that's left is to find the printer that we need and print. If we click the green arrow at the top of the screen, this will bring us back into the manifest report. Once a drive team's return pieces are all set, they can begin loading for tomorrow's deliveries. Teams will need an RF gun to scan tomorrow's pieces to their truck. Similar to the AM process of scanning hot pieces to their truck, once they're logged into the RF gun, they would hit 1 for outbound, and then 2 for load truck. Then they just need to scan the barcode on the piece, and then the barcode on their loading manifest. Once the piece has been scanned, they can load it into their truck. Once all pieces have been loaded, it would be a best practice to review the delivery dashboard and verify that all pieces have been systematically scanned to the truck. One last task for the evening is to confirm systematically that all the bins are clear, just like the physical bins in the depot. And we can do this by using a depot bin check in EWM. The bin check function is available under the Warehouse Management Monitor. As a reminder, we want to make sure the warehouse number matches the distribution center the depot receives from, and the monitor should be Z Depot. Once we're in the correct monitor, we will see a folder called External Depot Reports. Within this folder, we'll see another folder called Depot Bin Stock. In this folder, we will see the transaction Depot Bin. If we double-click on this, a sub-box pops up. We will need to select a variant, which is the button next to the button labeled Check. Another sub-box will pop up, and we will need to select the bin that best matches the depot. Once we select our variant, we need to click the clock with a green checkmark button in the first sub-box. This is the Execute button. Once the report runs, we will see all the bins associated with the depot. To look at a specific bin, we would highlight the bin, then click the button labeled Physical Stock. If we wanted to review all of the bins at once, we can hit Select All and then select Physical Stock. We need to be sure that anything showing in these bins is moved to its proper location. This concludes this installment on SAP EWM. We hope you're feeling savvy, and on behalf of BDF Support, thank you for watching.